Welcome back to the channel. We've been gone for a little bit. Maybe somebody missed us. Maybe everybody was happy we were gone, but we're back. Had a little video equipment again, user error, and I have to give a shout out to my boy genius, Royce Chamberlin of Royce Media. If you have any media, video things you need, he's your guy to call, because every time I screw something up, he comes running and fixes it. So, and you know him. Ryan Chamberlin is with us, Royce's dad, and Shelia Arnett. So we're back today to talk a little politics and a couple other topics that we've all in the last week or so have encountered, like the social media shutdown. I mean, were y'all as affected as I was? Because I thought it was just me.
Well, I did get a lot done that day because there was no, I couldn't go in and see who.
Yeah, but you didn't get anything done because every 10 minutes you kept checking to see if it was back on.
But see, then I still couldn't go see what everybody had for lunch, and so it was like, okay.
It was like our window to the world had gotten shut. The shutters had gotten closed. I was actually out working that day, so every time I'd get a chance to check my phone, it was, that was like you. I was like refreshing, and I think I called you and I said, hey, what, something's wrong with my phone. I can't get my Facebook booted back up, and you were like, we think it's a national shutdown.
Yeah, it was actually global.
Well,
it was global, and it was really interesting. We were talking about that before we went on air. So this whistleblower comes out on 60 Minutes Sunday night, and then Monday morning, Facebook's offline. And then she did the Senate hearing on Tuesday, and it was like, we wait weeks and weeks and weeks. How long do we wait for General Milley to go before the Senate and for these hearings? And so she whistleblows on Sunday, and then on Tuesday she's before Congress, and it's like, huh.
So Monday was the shutdown, right?
Monday was
happened on Monday. Mm-hmm. What do you think? I mean, what are we thinking that was? Because we haven't. It's been 2 weeks, and we're just.
There hasn't been a whole lot of talk. I don't know what to think about it. It's an interesting scenario when you think of 1 billion users, and you think of all not able to use something that over the last year or so we have visibly seen. The filtering, the canceling, the algorithms controlling. It's really obvious. It's really obvious. So, what's going on?
That's kind of why you're here today, because you kind of have a. I don't want to say maybe you're an expert in the field, because you're launching your own social media platform, which is great, and it needs to be done because of the censoring and the filtering and Facebook, and most of them, Twitter, all of them are kind of redirecting people to what they feel they should believe.
Well, there was something I watched the other day about the Twitter, what's trending on Twitter. And so what happens, people want to see what's trending, which makes it trend even more. And it's like those algorithms, those things are controlling what we look at, and so then everybody gets outraged. Everybody gets, and so everybody jumps on that bandwagon with what and we've all had instances where we're talking about something, or we look up something on Google, and then we get all these ads on Facebook. Mm-hmm. We get all of this stuff coming in. We were talking to Earl, Elizabeth, and I about, remember Highlights magazine?
Yeah.
Okay, remember? We used to read it. So we were talking. Something came up, some meme, something about Highlights magazine. I got one in the mail a week later. It was bizarre.
They still mailed them out.
Well, it was like, hey, this is Highlights magazine. To subscribe to it.
Well, that's called suggestive marketing. It's actually a thing, but yeah. Is Big Brother listening? What do you know about that?
What's even I guess more interesting is that we've given permission for them to listen at this point.
Is that right?
I think in many devices the default is set for the microphone to stay on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they necessarily legally have the responsibility to tell us anything other than, hey, if you're worried about it, you better go
shut it off.
Go shut it off.
Like a buyer beware type thing.
How do you shut it off? I don't think
you have to figure that out.
Oh,
each device is different, and I think that I know that there's been things even on I have an iPhone and now we're kind of off topic a little bit, but as far as the idea that things are listening to what we're saying, I don't think it's way out there. I think most people believe it's happening. They don't quite realize how many different devices.
Well, it's like the Alexa or the, in your,
How else do you explain what you just said? Because I bet anyone watching this video could almost has a similar story. It's something they've been talking about. And all of a sudden they flip open a feed of something, whatever it is, whether it's a Google or a social media feed, and they see some sort of ad that they hadn't seen, for the last 5 years until a day after they started talking about it.
And I have definitely noticed it if we're all three at home and Elizabeth searches for whatever, because we're all on the same IP, then I'll start getting ads for that. But this was, we didn't search it, we had a conversation about it, and all of a sudden I get this highlights magazine. It's
wow, that is. Well, Ryan, tell us about True Patriot Network.
Well, I'm excited about it. So my background, 25 years as an entrepreneur, led me down several paths, and I built some businesses that allowed me to travel the U.S. and do different things, and some of that involved some technology. Never social media, but overseeing building projects that required developers and things like that. So I've had a little bit of experience in that world. My last big project came to an end in 2019, and I found myself really looking to see what I wanted to do different. That's when I decided to run for U.S. Congress. So that's where we met.
That's right.
We got connected. That was a fun, great run, a lot of eye-opening things. People ask me all the time, what did you learn from that? Well, a lot of what I learned was confirmation of what I thought was true. Some of it was deeper. Some of it, I guess the reality is it caused me to engage more with the things that we're talking about now. And of course, 2020 was an interesting year, just all around. I mean, what we saw in all kinds of races everywhere. And going forward is probably going to be, our country, we need to save America, so we're going to be engaging in those conversations. But that race led me to, when it ended, I did not get the votes needed to win, but doors certainly opened up. I found myself at the end of the race because I was playing to win. I didn't. But I was going for it, and we decided we had to figure out what we were going to do next, and some doors opened for myself to be able to co-found True Patriot Network toward the end of last year. But what was required really to make this thing work was a big funding source, and we were able to secure that from a very patriot-minded individual, co-founder with me, my partner, and we're excited to say that we've spent the year strategically building a platform that has some unique aspects to it. On the surface, it's going to look like similar. We wanted it to feel similar. A lot of social media feels similar, right? We wanted you to be able to have a community, be able to have conversations on it. But we want to not just embrace, but we actually are partnering with faith influencers, entrepreneurial influencers, political influencers, that in some aspects they're threatened to be filtered or canceled just because their opinions aren't what the mainstream would want them to be saying or doing. And we certainly want a platform that's built to be a haven for those individuals. Let me give you a couple of highlights, and you can ask me any questions here. One of the first things we did took a large amount of funding, but we were able to purchase our own off-the-grid servers.
I was going to ask you about that.
In the first quarter of this year, that's what we were setting up.
Wasn't that the initial problem with Parler, that they had their servers through Amazon or something?
I think that's the initial problem with what has happened through the years. We just didn't realize how much power and influence the Amazons and the Googles of the world have been getting. I'm not necessarily here to talk bad about any of those companies, but when every bit of your data is controlled by those companies, then you have to be concerned whether or not they're going to mess with you if you don't do something they like. And we saw that with Parler really for the first time in a big way.
Right.
We also saw the President of the United States get squashed, basically. Yeah. His voice gets squashed with the powers that we didn't think would ever do that. So that has caused a lot of these conversations to escalate. I'm not the only one. It's like I didn't come up with the idea that, we should launch another platform. Everybody knows that.
Right.
Everybody knows it. It's figuring out
there's a need.
How do we get it to where it's strong enough that it becomes a viable tool that people will, because let's just face it, millions and millions and millions of people are already frustrated to the point where they're starting to exit in masses from any, not just social media, but from any environment that feels like it's got some sort of control over them.
How many times have you heard people say, I want to go off the grid? I want to go off the grid. I just want my privacy back, is essentially what they're saying. If you have to go live on the side of a mountain to get it, anymore, to get your privacy back. But
well, and you mentioned mainstream. I think truly those conservatives like us are more mainstream than we even know, but we're being censored to the point that we think we're not.
That's a great point. I believe that 100%. I believe actually what is mainstream is a smaller percentage of society than what we, it's getting a lot more credit than what it deserves. So we're really being manipulated. The conversation in America is being manipulated by a small percentage of people that just want the power to manipulate.
Right.
And there's a big agenda. That's not what this show is about.
But
and this is not conspiracy theory. This is what's going on.
No, and you make a good point. Have either one of you been put in Facebook jail for saying something? Well, I had never either until recently, and I happened to be in one of the groups, and somebody put one of those videos where you see, and it was somebody abusing a dog. And I made a comment about it. I thought it was disgusting, and maybe I should beat the guy's ass. And just with the other hundreds of comments of people, saying how disgusting it was and horrible, and why is this even posted? Why do we have to look at this? And I got 24 hours. Well, okay, no big deal. I can go off of Facebook for 24 hours. Well, then I get back on, and I talk about like an idiot that I was in jail, and somebody goes and gives their story, and I kind of bleep out the word ass, and and I get another 3 days. So now I'm at 4 days without, and it became like a hindrance. It was almost like a hindrance because, there were birthdays you missed, or there were things you wanted to like, and, and I could do without posting, but they still let you see everything. It's almost like a torture tactic. Like you can see everything, but you can't do anything. My hand was slapped, for misbehaving. In the eyes of who? I'm a grown-ass woman, who decided that I, did something wrong. I was giving my opinion. But of course they.
Well, and some of it's just ludicrous. There is it popped up again. It was in a recipe thing for keto diets. It's a peanut butter bar with chocolate, and it's got a photo cover over it that you have to click it to see the photo of a picture of keto peanut butter bars, and it's like. Exactly why does that need to be censored? Some of the stuff is
Yeah, it's getting absurd. So, I will say this. I joined last week because it's invitation only, correct? To join TPN. And my first thought was, and I think I called her, a couple of people, and I was like, you've got to look at this new network because it looks great. Unlike Miwa, whatever the hell the other one was, MeWe and Parler and all the ones that have tried, they always look a little generic. Well, yours looks amazing. I mean, it does look like Instagram, Facebook. It's top notch. So I got to give you that.
Thank you. And we got a lot of features. I mean, I don't really feel like we're competing with Facebook. Okay, they're doing their own thing, and trying to compete with them from a dollar amount. They've been doing this 10 years and billions of dollars. So naturally, they've got some great features. But they have chosen the path they're going for how they're going to handle their model, and I'll tell you some differences there. So I really don't feel like we're competing there. I feel like we're providing a solution for those that are not happy with the direction that things are going.
Yours is more user-friendly, looks better. You're not competing because you've outshined them. I mean, my hat's off to you because it's really nice.
We all appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I called Stan Hansen, right? I was like, hey, you got to take a look at Ryan Chamberlain's new platform. It's really good. And so he raced over and did it. And he said the same thing. He said, wow, that is impressive. So very nice.
And what will make it even better is because we've got the base features that people want used now. We're in heavy development for some live streaming features. We've got what we call channels instead of pages. But I think one of the best things that people need to realize is that you know, in several platforms out there, they use an algorithm method because the way they're trying to make money with those platforms, you know, through advertising, views, and all this kind of stuff. We're going down a different path. Right now, we're just building the platform. But we chose not to go down an algorithm path. We thought this through, and we're not the only ones that have done it. But like you said, we're looking good, and we are excited about where we're going. But it's a follower-following plan. So if you have 5,000 followers and you post something, all 5,000 of them will see it. It's not you can have 5,000 friends and 100 people, or 25 of them see it. So that is power when it comes to, we're designing it, you heard what I said, faith-based communities need to be able to communicate. Political influencers and entrepreneurs. If you're a business owner, I invite you to grab an account and set up a channel for your business. The thing that really will make this thing fly is more users. It's invitation only. You can go... Anybody can go to the App Store and get the app, True Patriot Network, TPN, but you can't get into the app without an account. And you can only get an account, like right now, you can get an account through either one of you. I've got one, we'll throw out a code here for them to do it, but you have to be invited. You have to click on a link that someone sent you, and the reason for that is organic growth, that's really key. Cybersecurity people, it's a lot more difficult for them to use these bots and things to get all these fake accounts. I mean, how many, you ever receive messages, fake messages from fake people all the time? We all do. That becomes a little bit more difficult when you have to be invited into the platform. So we're very excited about it. We're now, this month, is the first month we have partnered with a few of these different influential groups. This past weekend, last night we were part of it, but this past weekend, like we were in Gainesville, we represented there many new users at the Candace Owen event.
Yeah, Candace Owen.
This past weekend we were with Donald Trump Jr., Dan Bongino. And I don't want to act like I know these people personally a whole lot. I've met them all now. They're hearing about TPN, but we're helping make events happen that they're coming to speak at now. And the American Freedom Tour, you're going to hear about that. We partnered with them. Right now they're exclusive social media platform. And it's because we're going to embrace faith, family, freedom, free enterprise. And this is not Democrat or Republican or independent necessarily. I'm branding this as a non-political platform. We've got the word patriot in it. It's because I believe the word patriot shouldn't be political. You know, this country was founded by American patriots that didn't agree with each other on everything, right? The last few years has made that word political. But here's what faith, family, freedom, free enterprise is. Those are American values that everyone in this country should be fighting to make sure, if they're fighting against them, which a lot of people are, they're fighting against the roots that this country was founded on. I mean, they're wanting a different country than what America is, and we don't. So I'm getting more and more excited about what we're doing here because I see it more and more as an influential vehicle to help change the American conversation. It's family friendly. We want 13-year-old kids, moms, parents that stay up and worry about what their kids are doing. We want this to be a platform we're investing in. And when I say investing, I'm very, very thankful for the situation that we're in with TPN because this stuff takes more funding than you would. There's a reason why a lot of people haven't done it.
I can't imagine.
But just to be able to develop software over the next year or two that will help keep. People ask me all the time, it's free speech, so how are you going to keep the bad stuff off? Well, I think you can communicate any opinion you want without super bad stuff. So who gets to decide that? Well, Hollywood, they're about as free speech as you can think of, and even they have a rating system, G, PG, PG-13, and all the way up. So let's just call this a PG. There may be some PG-13 stuff on there, but we're going to try to keep the stuff that
Well,
should be
let me
on
ask you
there.
a question, because you said business, you welcome businesses. So I do use social media very much for my real estate business. Could I still do that on TPN?
Yeah, so like right now, there's a button inside your app that you can create a channel. And that channel, we call them channel because, when you turn on a channel, people see everything, right? We're not going to let you have 10,000 followers and 2 people see it, right?
Okay.
Everyone gets to see it. And so you'd set up a channel for your business. I know you've done a few different things. Both of you have businesses. And that's where you would probably direct the majority of your business conversations. We're also, the next month, going to have groups, and I'm just having fun talking about features now, inside of those channels, so that if you want to segment off and have private conversations.
Because I do run real estate
private
groups on
teams.
Facebook, yeah.
And so, Facebook is still very relevant to business. I'm not asking anybody to leave any platform they're on. But I think most people that are in business have a couple of platforms. I would hope this could earn the right to be one of those that you start working on. And I think over time, if we just keep to what we're all about and the others keep to what they're all about, there's going to be a changing, people are wanting to get away. They're just trying to figure out.
They evolved from MySpace to
Yep.
Facebook. So.
Well, and when the October 4th, when that big shutdown happened, there were restaurants and businesses that everything they do is on Facebook. So they could do nothing. They could not sell, they could not promote, they could not, there was nothing that they could do.
Now, do you currently have advertising? Are you going to allow? What's the policy on that?
We do not have advertising. We're studying some different ways that we might want to do that. Because, you have to create a model that will sustain itself and pay for itself. Right now, there's just a lot of investment going into it.
Sure.
But what I want to do is create opportunities for individuals, whether it be more tools inside the app that would be worthy of a business owner saying, I'd like to have access to some extra tools that for marketing. I lean toward wanting to figure out a rev share plan. I'm giving you some, we're just talking, right?
Right.
Rather than
There's nobody watching,
charge
so
a
talk.
business owner to advertise. Why not create a scenario that gives us both incentive to benefit, and that way TPN, we figure out a way to rev share. So basically, then we would get paid, and you would get paid on results, not on what might work. So I'm interested in that because I come from an entrepreneur mindset. Some of this stuff, I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars advertising things on Facebook. And there's a lot of gamble there. You can spend $10,000. They will take $10,000 from you, and if you click the wrong button somewhere in the process, you might get 1,000 clicks from some country you have no interest in doing business with. So,
Right.
again, I'm not here to pick on them. I'm just saying there's different models for different things, and I think people over time are going to be pleasantly surprised at how we figure out maybe a more personal way of dealing with some of the things that we can deal with here.
Sure. Yeah. Well, like I said, it looks fantastic. I mean, it looks better than Facebook and Instagram. It really does.
And if you follow my social media, I love pictures. I've got, and so I've made a couple of posts and, was able to go in my pictures. It was easy. It was
very user friendly.
It is very, it's the same that you can click on it and it will go into your camera or into your, either your camera, so you want to do a live one, or it will go into your photo storage and you can choose the photos and so it was very user friendly. It was just easy to do.
Well, here's what's not going to happen. You're not going to be talking about something, and then all of a sudden the TPN app is going to show up in the feed. Because we're not tracking, we're not data mining. There's big business in that. There's big business in big tech knowing how you think about whatever you think, because they can target, and that's where the money's made in that world. So.
Well, and that's, there's a new thing going around right now. I watched something on the news stations that I watched not too long ago, that the government's asking for Google word searches.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that they're looking for certain things that you Google, that they want these phrases turned into the government. It's getting
Again,
really
there's
scary.
something appealing at my age. Y'all are a lot younger, but to go off the grid, the side of the mountain is really coming for me.
But I think social media is where we are. I know I'm a huge Walking Dead fan. Earl hates Walking Dead, so I always have to go. You know, he's normally watching NASCAR. He waits till the race is over, and then he watches it, and I go in the bedroom and watch The Walking Dead. And I've always thought the very first Walking Dead episode, there is no more social media. There is no more, and I'm like, I would be lost. I mean, truly,
Does it take place in the future? Because I don't watch it.
Oh, it's
so
it's
I know
the
nothing.
zombie apocalypse. The world has ended.
And there's no social media for the zombies.
There's no electricity. There's nothing.
So it's back to pioneer days.
It is. And so, you know, some of those things that we've become so comfortable with, but yet now we're becoming uncomfortable with them because of the overreach, because of and like Donald Trump or not like Donald Trump, he really laser focused on some of these things that we've heard kind of was happening and we kind of thought it was, but now, like you said, if you can censor the President of the United States and kick him off the platform because you don't. I've had lots of politicians that I don't like what they said, but I would have never thought to just shut them off.
Right.
So,
Well,
anyway,
you just turn it off, but
we want to invite everybody to grab an account. Go to gettpn.net. And actually, I want to create a page for the show.
For political chit chat?
Or when people register, they automatically follow.
that would be great.
Oh.
So,
awesome.
so here's what we do. Go to gettpn.net/chat. Gettpn.net/chat. Register for an account. You'll be following the chit chat. And if we change the name of it, we change the name
and
of
we
it.
probably will.
Gettpn.net/chat. That's how you grab your TPN account. And let's start moving some of the conversation inside there. Anything you would post anywhere else, just go ahead and post it.
So so we can post today's show.
Yeah.
Can we upload it to TPN?
We can upload it to TPN. You can also still use YouTubes and other things like that. And we can, if we
And I
paste
know
the
you're
link.
trying to educate me on all that, and
Yeah.
I'm still illiterate.
So yeah, it'll be. We'll make sure that these episodes will be in there, and it'd be a great place to.
Because can you go live on TPN?
You will be able to very soon. We can't on the desktop version, but on the app version, that's what's coming out in the next month or so. So I'll be letting everybody know that.
And we've talked to Sheila and I've talked about that with this show. We'd like to go live. I don't know how, because we'd like to be able to take questions. While we're doing the segment and discuss political question type things. So that would be fun. Maybe
We'll figure it out,
Royce
yeah.
can come and give me a tutorial. He can tutor me, and I'll learn how to do it. I don't know that I will, but I'll try. He's so cute because he says to me the other day, "I'm going to teach you how to do this." I was like, "Yeah, don't. Just you can come back and fix it every time I break it. I can't
Probably
learn.
next time he comes,
I'm too old to learn.
Probably next time he comes, I'll come and maybe
You can learn.
maybe between the two of us.
Well, Ryan's going to be a regular, so we've got him too. So between you two, maybe y'all can figure out the system.
Yeah.
So we have actually known one another much longer than the last campaign cycle.
Okay, so tell me.
So Earl and I had a baseball card store
Okay.
from 88 to 91 and would see your dad at...
I remember that.
And so I don't know if you were ever one of those that were carding those cards in and out.
I was the two, me and my brother.
Yeah.
So where was your store at?
We had the dugout.
Oh, did you?
We did, and so we were on the boulevard.
Okay, yeah.
And
I went in there with him. Did
yeah.
you do comics and all that stuff?
we
too?
did. That was Ray Frender.
Yeah.
Where the Walgreens is now, but
Cosmic Connection. That's
Cosmic
right.
Connection was that one, and Steve Whiteloff had Bleacher Bums in
So
Bellevue.
Steve knew my dad as well.
Yeah.
And then we had a store. When I was a kid, my dad set up a comic and baseball card store in Bellevue. So this would have been before Steve's. And I have an article because during
What
the
was
summer,
it called? Because I grew up in
Bellevue
Bellevue.
Baseball Cards and Comics. Okay, it was right there near the Burger King in Bellevue.
Okay.
And so my dad was an attorney, so he's working during the day. And in the summertime, my brother and I ran the store. So CalStar Manor, this is in the 80s. They did an article on it, so I still have it at the house. And it says, "Comics are a serious business for the Bellevue Brothers." So that was the title of the article. So we got branded the Bellevue Brothers.
Bellevue Brothers. That's awesome.
Yeah, we have kids, Brian Cox used to come in my store all the time. The Bond kids used to come in all the time. There are Ryan Mims, there are all these guys that are now, in their late 30s, early 40s that used to come in as 8 and 10-year-olds.
That was me.
And come and hang out at our store. Their moms would drop them off and go Saturday morning and go do things. And this one kid, did y'all ever play? Pack poker became a thing.
No, I didn't do that.
So you would most RBIs, most home runs, whatever, and then whoever had the most, it wasn't the value of the card, and you got everybody else's cards. And so this mom had dropped the kids off, and I don't remember who it was now, but the mom came in and she's like, "Okay, we gotta go." And he's like, one more. And she's like, "All right, pick that pack." And he's like, "No, Mom." And he picked another pack. So I picked that pack. And it was the year that the Bo Jackson black and white,
goodness.
when he was playing baseball and he had the baseball bat behind his head and he had his shoulder pads on. It was his birthday, and he's like, "Miss Sheila, please." And I'm like, no.
Together being a brat.
Yeah, your mom told you to pick that one. He cried. It was pitiful, but it was funny.
But then you didn't never give him the card?
No.
Oh. Okay. All right.
But it was fun. Baseball cards, but like everything, it got so...
It changed.
It did. There, when we did it, there was, Topps. Upper Deck came out in '89. We were, but then there was
Fleer,
Donruss, Topps. But it just became. We got rid of the store in '92. We still have some baseball cards, but we closed the store in '92.
Wow. Well, very interesting stuff, and we're going to wrap it up here. So, Ryan, give the code out one more time. And
go to gettpn.net/chat. And you'll see a button there that says click here. And basically what I'm doing is I'm putting your private link on there.
Okay.
When you download the app, there's a button at the bottom of the app that has 2 little people on it. Everyone that downloads the app, click that button and you'll have your own invite link. Because remember, the only way people can get into TPN is through invite only. So you can share that with as many as you want, or you can click another button and it'll send text to whoever you want in your phone. So we've got a cool way, a pretty simple way to invite. We're continually improving it.
And it's really nice. Take a look at it.
We're excited about it.
So thank you guys very much.
They have to be a contact in your phone to invite them, or is there other ways?
With the link, you can send it however you want. You could post the link. I had a lady that posted. You can post the link on whatever social media platform you have. That is just copy and paste wherever you want.
Okay.
But if they're in your phone, there's a convenient way to send text to your phone.
Got it.
So you got 2 choices there.
Yeah, very good. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Thank you all for watching. I am going to show off one thing that Royce did show me that I did learn. Look at that. So thank you all. We'll see you again soon.
Bye.